Check one, check. I hope everybody is listening. Hey guys, David D here from the Get a Clue Marketing Show. We are live and I'm using XSplit Broadcaster. And so I'm setting it up. I've got two cameras ready to go. But I wanted to check it out on YouTube. So let me show you that real quick. But today we're talking about how to tell your story, okay? And it's pretty important that you know what your story is and how to tell it, okay? It's almost like writing an autobiography. And basically your life is set up in chapters and things like that. And basically what you want to do, hang on a second folks, this is, I'm trying to get into my YouTube so I can take a look to make sure everything is working correctly, and sometimes that takes time. You know what I mean? So if you see see white noise, just stand by. I'll be right. Anyway, we were talking about how to tell your story, okay? And just going over to the live bit here. All right. Sorry, man. This is just ridiculous. I'll probably have to edit this out. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. Let me pull that up real quick. Everything's real quick. Did you guys notice that? When somebody gets on here, they say, oh, let me show you a video real quick. Okay? Well, and then it ends up lasting for about an hour and a half. Okay, well I promise you I'm not going to bore you with an hour and a half worth of content right now. Okay, if you like that stuff, then send me a comment that you want, long, arduous, live feeds or classes. Okay. To be honest with you, the average human being's time span is really less than 10 minutes. It used to be like for 20 to 25 minutes, and nowadays it's less than 10 minutes. If you cannot, stand on point like I was, babbling at the beginning of this broadcast because I was trying to find YouTube Live, and I should add that set up. Anyway, we're going to go right into it. And so this is what we're talking about, how to tell your story. Now, if you guys been listening to Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone, and these guys all talk about their lives and what they've done. Russell Brunson, these are some of the guys that I followed throughout the years. Armin Moore, and a lot of these guys know how to tell their story, okay? And they know how to share it so well that you want more of what they have. So, they'll tell you about their experiences, and then they'll either write a book about it or do a program on it, a coaching series, whatever it is. These people know how to tell their story, okay? In fact, you can check out my channel, obviously, the Get a Clue Marketing Show. Just type that in. A whole bunch of videos will come up about, entrepreneurship, small business, marketing. I love marketing. I don't know if you guys are into that. I don't know if you guys are, just beginning to get into marketing because it's the thing to do. It's actually survival for any business. I got to tell you that right now. If you don't know how to do marketing, this is what that channel is all about. It's to get a clue. You can visit my website. Here's a plug: thegetacluemarketingshow.com. Okay, but so that's one of the reasons why I'm starting this channel and helping people, use their life story and tell other people about it and share the experiences, because once you connect with other people that has a similar story, then there's a connection. It could be all over the world. It could be on the other side of the world, whatever. But there's a connection, when you tell your story. Anyway, so the first thing, I like to do, since I like to read a lot of autobiographies, Napoleon Hill, right? Think and Grow Rich, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins. I mean, these guys, I read their books. I took their material, and I have gotten a lot out of those things. And they know how to tell their story, and they know how to show their experiences. Okay, but when I read their books, they're basically autobiographies of themselves and what they've gone through. So what basically happens? There's a beginning, there's a middle, and then there's a present time. Okay, and they basically break it up by chapters. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is get a new Expo pen that works. Okay, that's pretty much what I would do first. I throw this out. All right, later. You weren't working for me. All right, let's see if this works. All right, great. So you want to break your life stories into chapters. Okay, now you don't have to go all the way back to birth, okay? Unless there was a tragedy. Let's say, you came back to life, you were dead for an hour in delivery, and, that might be a story that will, help other people out. How, obviously you can't say, well, gee, how did you feel about that? You don't know. You were being delivered. But, that's something that was dramatic in your life, okay? So break your life down into stories. Now, some of the things that I like to do, like in my books and things, is, you have an intro. Who is David D., right? So you start out with who is, or who are you, Some of the things I do when I'm talking to my friends and stuff that don't really know me that well is we go over different stories of what happened, in it doesn't have to be childhood, but teenage years. This is where a lot of people that quote unquote grew up in the 80s. Okay, 80s was a great decade. I have to tell you. I don't know if you guys are an 80s fan or not, but there was a lot of things going on in the 80s. A lot of new beginnings there, too. Anyway, so one of the things that we reminisce about is, maybe the parties that we went to, maybe the people that we used to hang out with. I was one of those people that hung out with every group. I hung out with the jocks. I hung out with the gearheads, because I needed to learn how to work on my car, you know what I mean? And my motorcycle and stuff. And then who else was there? There was the partiers. And these guys, they love rock and roll. They love to, have their beer and other things. And then who else, man? Is that about all the groups that were? I never got into the band people. Isn't that interesting? Being a musician, I never really got into the band. I thought I thought it was just lame. Okay, I didn't want to wear the uniforms and the big hats and stuff. But I got to tell you, I respect the music that comes out of a school band. I watched that movie Drumline, and that takes you back into an experience of being on a school band, and that was some pretty impressive music. Okay, so first thing that you want to do is who are you? Where did you grow up? What type of culture was it? Things like that. And you can do it in 5-minute increments. If I can say I can't spell on live TV, I can't spell. Let's say 5-minute videos for you, like Snapchat on there, some Periscope. about who you are, in 5 minutes. So, this can also be an email. This could go to an email sequence, okay? I'm sure you heard of building your list and giving them content. Well, this is how you build trust with your list by doing an email sequence. Okay, this is when somebody signs up and wants to hear more about your life stories, more about your life lessons, because really it's all about a lesson. All right, you can talk about some incidents that happened to you as a teenager, but you always want to follow that up with a lesson. I don't always do that because I'm pretty random that way, but that's what you should do, right? Excuse me. I just had to get that drink right there. So your email sequence can be anywhere from 7 to 10 days, okay? All right, so let's put down blooper, right? Let's put down some ideas that you could come up with, okay? All right, so let's talk. We're talking about cut. We're talking about how to tell your story, okay? Breaking it up into chapters, okay? And here's some ideas. You could talk about your teenage life. Now, assuming that you're, let's say you're, well, any age, okay? Any age. You could be a teenager talking about your teenage life, live as it happens. For me, that was a long time ago, okay? You can talk about things that happened back in your age, okay? So in my age, are you seeing? Okay, I got to move that up. We're talking about the 80s, all right? So life experience. As a adolescent or, your teenage years from 13 to 19, 20s, whatever it is, the 30s. Regardless of what it is, each decade has a story, Each decade, let's say, somebody saved your life. You were in a bad accident or something of that nature, and you were saved by somebody, I remember a long time ago, going through a country road, and there was black ice. You guys know about black ice, man? It's terrifying. You don't know. We were in the country. I was riding my 10-speed at night. It was a full moon, and I saw that the ground was wet, but I couldn't tell if there was any ice on it. And I had my 10-speed. You remember the ones that look like ram horns? And so all of a sudden I felt the tires just go out from underneath me, and I just fell. But I fell. I felt like a cushion, like God was holding me up, so I didn't break my tailbone. I thought it was great. So anyway, that happened in my teenage life, and then you go through your 20s. Did you go to college? What did you learn? What was your major? What were some of the stories that you had? Were you on campus? Were you part of a frat party? Anything like that, is really life's experiences. Now, those are yours personally. Again, what was the lesson? The lesson could be, never sleep around, or don't get too drunk that you can't find your way back to the dorm, and your friend has to drive another 60 minutes to go pick you up. Okay, maybe that was the lesson. Don't do that again. So you can share that with other people. Maybe there's young people that they always want to, get drunk and all that mess. Maybe you can share those stories with them. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about some other ideas that you can connect with your audience. The music that you listen to. All right? TV shows. one of the things that I've done with my coworkers over the people I work with, we talk about movies a lot, okay? I don't know why, but I end up with these people that love movies just as much as I do. And we find ourselves doing, one-liners and doing the scenes over again. It's pretty funny. But you see, that's how you connect. That's how you connect with people. That's how you tell people your story, okay? And, I got to tell you, it's a lost art being social with people nowadays online. Because it used to be that, everybody would gather around the dinner table and, they had to be there at a certain time. That's when dinner was going to be on the table and you had to be there. At least when I was growing up, that's not the case anymore. As soon as I got my first job, my quote-unquote real job in 16, then the meals got all messed up. Anyway, but that's something you can share too. You could share traditions. Let me see. Okay, you can share traditions. You can share cultural changes, beginnings, etc. So that's basically it. And, like I said, you break it up into chapters, What was your first dramatic experience, okay? And you could have been surfing out there and, you fell, you hit a huge wave. It was a rogue wave, and you could, why not embellish it, right? It was so huge, it was over my head, right? The surfboard cracked me in the head. I was unconscious. Somebody else came, rescued me off the thing, out of the beach. And, that's dramatic. Share that story. Tell people what you were thinking as you were getting, knocked around and so forth like that. So anyway, I hope this helped. I went kind of long. I want to kind of keep these short so I'm not boring you to death. And let me see a couple other things. One of the things I wanted to do also was to give you a free book. One of my books. Let me see if I'll put it down here. It's called The 501 Easy Ways to Make Money at Home. Now, I started this book back in 2000. Okay, it was the turn of the century, and excuse me. Yeah, baby. It was the turn of the century, and early 2000s, and I live at the beach in Myrtle Beach, and this is like the entrepreneur capital of the world, because if you don't have like a government job down here, or if you're working for a franchise or things like that, but you basically have to have your own business on the side. It could be part-time, it could be full-time, but down here, this is a tourist town. It's becoming a lot year-round now. People have just come down here from the north, from the south, and they're settling down here. And so my point was that people of all types of businesses that you can start making money. I came across a guy that worked 6 months out of the year, okay, and he worked for carnivals. And hold on a second. Let me ask you something. Did you guys get all this? You guys can pause the video if you want to. But one of the things I wanted to show you the ebook. But we were talking about 501 easy ways to make money at home, okay? The reason why I did that is because ever since 1987, I wanted to have a business at home, okay? And then mail order came along, and I wanted to be able to just be at home, collect checks, send out stuff in the mail, and get checks in the mail. Okay, it was an easy business. 500. But you had to keep up with it, and you had to pay postage, and there was shipping involved and so forth. Easy ways to make money at home. Okay, this is an ebook, and I will give you that ebook if you share, comment, tweet this video, okay? And as many people as you possibly can. We'll do a drawing at the end of the week. You know, there's no purchase necessary as a disclaimer, okay? But anyway, so you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help me get over 100,000 subscribers. Okay. You need to share, comment. Let's keep it clean comments, okay? Let's see. I want to put this free. If this. Okay, subscribe, share, comment. And what was the other thing? I forgot. There were a couple other things on there. Anyway, you know what to do, and I will send you 501 easy ways to make money at home. Otherwise, you can look that up and purchase it online if you want to. But we're sorry about that. I got sidetracked. I do that as a disclaimer. I gotta disclaim that I get sidetracked sometimes. Okay. I want to make this quick though. This is gonna be real quick. Have you heard that before? So anyway, I met this guy down here in Myrtle Beach, okay? I was doing cable work. I was doing disconnects. I was climbing the pole 30 feet up and disconnecting people's cable, okay? A lot of money in it. It was a great job, right? And I was an independent contractor. And I came across so many business owners, so many people that did different things. I mean, it's almost as if you went out in the wintertime and shoveled people's driveways and you made money. That was a business. Okay, they stepped it up to a plow and et cetera, et cetera. Well, I came across all these businesses. You know how the accountants, the lawyers, that's all typical. But I'm talking about people that, sell manure for a living. People that, work on horse farms and have horse farms. I mean, it's crazy what you can do at home. I mean, then there's a lot of freelance. I'm going to tell you, freelance is the wave of the future. All right? If you're not familiar, hey, you can check out Fiverr. And if you want, you can check out my gig over Get a Clue 777, okay? Look at my Fiverr gigs, and you'll see how you can be able to freelance, okay? If you're looking for some extra money, we already talked about how to share and tell your life to people in chapters. Well, why not show people what you have? Why don't you show people the kind of skills that you have so that you can freelance and start making some money from that? But that's definitely something you want to look into. So anyway, that's how you get the 501 easy ways to make money at home. And you got to subscribe, share, and comment, and help me get past 150. Did I say 100? Yeah, 150K subscribers. Okay? You guys will be like the founding subscribers that first subscribed. So hopefully I don't make this too boring and out of context for you. But anyway, check it out. Check out my blog too at thegetacluemarketingshow.com. And I got 21 online lessons that you can learn about marketing, business, all this good stuff. And it's free. All you got to do is click the banner on thegetacluemarketingshow.com and get those 21 online lessons for you for free, okay? This is David D. I got to go. I went long. And also let me know what kind of topics you want to talk about marketing. You know, we are going to talk about advertising. We're going to talk about self-promotion again. We're going to talk about, owning your own business. What's it like? You know, do you realize that it's tax season right now and you have to be responsible for those taxes? This is why some people, they don't want to have that responsibility. They don't want to be a 1099 person. But you know what? We need people like you too, because I don't feel like doing the work. So I need you to do the work for me. So there are both leaders and followers. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a follower. If you just have somebody else take out your taxes, do your own sales and everything, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do want to become an entrepreneur and make money at home, you can check out that book. And subscribe, share, and comment. Anyway, I went long. David D here. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to talk to you guys soon.